Danceland 2's 22nd annual performance. The Danceland Performing Company would like to acknowledge the Danceland Office Manager, Gladys Stokes, and the owner and director of Danceland, Robin Stokes.
Before we begin, I'd like to thank a few people. First of all, I want to thank all of our teachers. We have a great deal of talent teaching your students, teaching your children at our studio. So first, I would like to announce Crystal Burke, Nicole Garrison, Chelsea Green, Morgan Green, Johnny Manzella, Joni Powell, Christy Rink, Nicole Scuderi, and last but not least, Ann Sueda. We also have 3 graduating seniors this year, and I'd like to acknowledge them at this time. First, Kristen Duran. She graduated from Indian River High School and will be attending Tidewater Community College in the fall. Second is Heather Negri. She attended Hickory High School and will be attending Bradford in the fall. And last but certainly not least, Whitney Kent graduated from Great Bridge High School and will be attending Old Dominion University in the fall. Thank you all. Thank you guys for coming and enjoy the show.
On a perfect spring morning, Fleur begins her day inspecting her garden just as she does every day. She has worked for years tending and caring for her garden, which under her care has grown to be a spectacular place. Making her way through its winding paths, Fleur stops to give each blossom its proper care and each weed its proper tug, until everything is just as it should be. Along the path, Fleur passes everything from buttercups to orchids and sunflowers to lilacs, all with a special place in her heart. On her way down the garden path, she takes time to feed the birds and admire the butterflies drawn to her magnificent garden. One of Fleur's favorite things about her garden is the lake it sits beside. She makes a trip to the lake each day to admire all the beautiful creatures that live there, especially the swans. Surrounded by so many wonderful plants and animals, Fleur could not think of a better place to be in the entire world until she finally reaches the very center of her garden. There, blooming in all their glory, are her prize-winning roses, American Beauties. The time and love she has put into these roses go beyond any plant she has ever cared for, and her hard work has paid off. Last year, her roses won Best in Show at the statewide Garden Extravaganza. Right here is where she will set up for lunch today. Her friend Omarosa has a similar love for gardening and will appreciate the view.
life, all your life, you were only waiting for this moment to rise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night, take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly, into the light of a dark black night.
leaves her house on the way to Fleur's with revenge in her heart. She has to figure out where she went wrong. How did she lose her trophy to Fleur? Everyone knew she deserved it. Fleur had beautiful roses, but Omarosa's sunflower won Best in Show every year since she could remember. Why did her once prize-winning garden now wither more and more every day? And how did Fleur make hers grow? It is time to figure out Fleur's secret, or do whatever it takes to ensure Fleur's roses will not win again this year. Arriving for lunch, Omarosa is amazed as she makes her way through Fleur's garden. Every daisy was dazzling, every lily lovely, every rose robust. What an amazing place. It was all so mesmerizing. This place could be its own plant thesaurus. As Fleur and Omarosa round the corner to the center of the garden, Omarosa's jaw drops. A wonderful lunch is laid out for the two of them, but what Omarosa can't take her eyes off are those amazing roses, perfect specimens. These roses are more beautiful than Omarosa remembered. The anger begins to swell inside of her. Oh, how she longs to drop some poison on them or release some horrible insect that would destroy it all. Omarosa's mind begins to drift, imagining all the horrible things she could do to that beautiful garden. Snap out of it, she thinks. She is here for more important things. She has to discover Fleur's secret. How did she make her garden grow?
tell you run. Nobody say, nobody else. Well, I would like to hold my little hand. I will run, I will cry. I would like to hold my little hand. I will run, I will cry. Send me away, send me away, send me away, send me on my way, send me away, send me away, send me on my way.
Everybody's searching for answers. Everybody tries to find some meaning in their lives. Where do we belong? Who will be our shelter? Looking for salvation.
Once a lonely caterpillar sat and cried, poor sympathetic people by the side. I've got nobody to hug, I'm such an ugly bug. Then a spider and a dragonfly replied, if you're serious and want to win a prize, come along with us to the glorious annual ugly bug ball. Come on, let's crawl, gotta crawl to the ugly bug ball, to the ball, and the happy time we'll have there. One and all at the ugly bug ball. While the crickets clicked their cricket melody, all the ants were fancy dancing with the breeze. Then up from under the ground, the worms came squirming around. Oh, they danced into the lake and they lay. Every little crawling creature you could name. Everyone was glad. What a time they had. They were so happy they came. Come on, let's crawl to the ugly bug ball, and a happy time we'll have there. One and all at the ugly bug ball.
home, Omarosa walks through her own garden that is sad and wilting. She looks around, hating everything. Flowers that were once beautiful now droop, and their petals fall to the ground. Vines have taken over. They grow so thick that they drain the life out of everything around them. Worst of all, her once prize-winning sunflower now falls to one side, its gray blossoms hanging in the dirt. How did Fleur win Best in Show? And how did Omarosa's garden come to this? Omarosa has always grown prize-winning sunflowers without the, oh, my garden grows from love, Fleur attitude that makes Omarosa sick just thinking about it. Where did I go wrong, she wonders. I buy all the right seeds and all the right fertilizer. I buy the most expensive everything. Why won't my garden grow? Oh, how she wishes she had listened to that Mary, Mary, quite contrary when she had the chance. The garden show is right around the corner, and nothing will make Omarosa angrier than being defeated again. Her only hope is sabotage.
If you're looking for trouble, you came to the right place. If you're looking for trouble, look right in my face. I was born standing up, talking back. My daddy was a green-eyed man. I'm evil. My middle name is Misery. Don't you mess around with me.
I never looked for trouble, but I never ran. I don't take no kind of mess from no kind of man. I'm only made of flesh, blood, and bone. If you want to start a rumble, don't you try to do it alone, 'cause I'm evil. My middle name, Misery. I said I'm evil. So don't you mess around with me. the warmth of night. There's a simple harmony to life, a magic thing. And I walk among the thousand trees, and I feel the earth beneath my feet. And I remember that the air we breathe is a magic thing. Everybody now, life is a magic thing. Yeah, yeah. Life is a magic thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Life is a magic thing.
Some people live for a fortune. Some people live just for the fame. Some people live for the power, yeah. Some people live just to play the game. Some people think that the physical things define what's within. And I've been there before, but that life's a ball so full of the superficial. Space in a sweater, where I give for a deep breath inside, where the chaos has me captive, where there's no exit sign, where fuel is stupid fire with these feelings of mine. I'm alluded to this damn, it's bitter and I won't swing a second, the taste that I agree with. These buns into my ear, and silence is a comfort. But there is no one else where I'll be on Monday and can curl myself.
Omarosa decides to eliminate Fleur from the garden show completely. Fire is the perfect way to destroy Fleur's garden and to stop her from entering the garden extravaganza. With the strike of a match, Omarosa's plan is put into action. Slinking away as quickly as possible, Omarosa fails to see that just as the fire begins to take hold of Fleur's garden, a miracle happens. It begins to rain.
You're hot, he's hot, she's hot. I'm hot, you're hot, he's hot, she's hot. Real hot, real hot.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows, and what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions, and rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that wishes would be heard and answered when wished on the morning star? Someone thought of that, and someone believed it, and look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing, and what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me.
At the Garden Extravaganza, Amorosa enters her sunflower, however lacking in luster it might be, but believing that she still has a chance of winning Best in Show. She has done everything in her power to destroy Fleur's roses and knock her out of the competition. To her surprise, however, Fleur is there, and her roses seem to be even more radiant than ever. How did this happen? Fleur's roses should have been burnt to the ground, not entering the contest. As the judges make their way through all the entries, no one is surprised that Fleur's roses win Best in Show for the second year in a row. can do it. All you need is a hand. We can do it. Mama is gonna see to it. Turn out like the lights. We got nothing to hit but the heights. I can tell. Wait and see. There's the bell. Follow me. And nothing's
I'm bringing home the baby bumblebee. Won't my mama be so proud of me? 'Cause I'm bringing home the baby bumblebee. Buzz, 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 buzz. I'm bringing home the baby bumblebee. Won't my mama be so proud of me? 'Cause I'm bringing home the baby bumblebee. Buzz, 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 buzz. I'm bringing home the baby bumblebee. Won't my mama be so proud of me? 'Cause I'm bringing home the baby bumblebee. Buzz, 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 buzz. I'm bringing home the baby bumblebee. Won't my mama be so proud of me? 'Cause I'm bringing home the baby bumblebee. Buzz, 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 buzz. I'm bringing home the baby bumblebee. Won't my mama be so proud of me? 'Cause I'm bringing home the baby bumblebee. Buzz, 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 buzz. I'm bringing home the baby bumblebee. Won't my mama be so proud of me? 'Cause I'm bringing home the baby bumblebee. Buzz, 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 buzz. I'm bringing home my baby bumblebee. Won't my mama be so proud of me? 'Cause I'm bringing home my baby bumblebee. Buzz, 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 buzz. I'm bringing home my baby bumblebee. Won't my mama be so proud of me? 'Cause I'm bringing home my baby bumblebee. Buzz, 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 buzz.
Life is a holiday. I'm talking to me. A night is out show. I'm making out the front door. Bye-bye, lonely nights when the two of us can cool. Skies are sunny and clear, long as I'm here with you. The world's a sugar bowl. It sounds everywhere. Sleepy got paradise. The film is mighty nice. I got no blues to sing, choose to sing a melody for two. Happy ending is near, long as I'm here with you.
Life is a holiday. I'm talking to me. A night is our show. And baby, I'm rock roll.
I got no blues to sing, choose to sing a melody for two. Happy ending is near, long as I'm here with you. Who cares if there's gold? Or that the Yankees lose? Can't pay my income tax, but it's part of the fact. No one could ask for more. King in a candy store. The jackpot has been hit. I'm leaving proof of it. And that's for all that past, I'm gonna hold that's true. What a record, long as I'm here with you. And you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and yeah, you too. So happy, dear, long as I'm here, yeah. Long as I'm here with you.
Time passes by so quickly, but I guess I thought you'd be here forever. I never even had a chance to say goodbye. There's so many things to tell you, left unsaid until now. Can you hear me when I'm talking to you? Do the Has no one told you she's not breathing? Hello, I'm your mind, giving you someone to talk to. Hello. If I smile and don't believe, soon I know I'll wake from this dream. Don't try to fix me, I'm not broken. Hello, I'm the light living for you, so you can hide. Don't feeling so I can run.
This is the point when I need everybody to get to the dance floor. So like that, y'all, that, y'all, that, y'all, that, y'all, that, that, but like that, y'all, that, y'all, that, y'all, that, y'all, that, y'all, that, y'all.
I came to have a party, open up the Bacardi, feeling so hot tonight. Boy, I know you can see what's it gonna be. But they're taking me higher. I'm living and I like it. Boy, you got me inspired. Baby, come and get it, do it, and then you can see my night. No stress, no fights. I'm leaving it all behind. No tears, no time to cry. Just making the most of life. Everybody's living it up. All folks keep looking at us. 'Cause me and my girls on the floor like what? One DJ keeps on spinning the cuts like that, y'all.
That, y'all,
That, y'all.
that, y'all,
I like that, y'all.
that, y'all,
That, y'all.
that, y'all,
That, y'all.
that, y'all,
I like that, y'all.
that, y'all.
You like it, and you know it. Caution is so expensive. That chicken is action on lotion. Baby, come and get it, let me know what you need. It's a special location. Baby, in that location. Of course, a celebration. No lies, no stress, no fights. Leaving it all behind. No tears, no time to cry. Making the most of life. Looking at us, me and my girls on the floor like what? Gonna DJ keeps on spinning the cuts like that, y'all.
That, y'all,
That, y'all.
that, y'all.
I like that, y'all.
That, y'all, that, y'all,
That, y'all.
that, y'all.
I like that, y'all.
That, y'all.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, now. This is your time, get your hands up, look at your hands up, look at your hands up, hands up. This is your time, get your hands up.
Me and my girls on the floor like what?
Here we go now, here we go now, here we go now, here we go now.
That chicken is action on lotion. Baby, come and get it, let me give you what you need.
competition, Omarosa makes her way home, reflecting on the horrible things she did just to win a silly competition. After all the trouble she went through, the only thing she had is a dying garden and sadness in her heart. Maybe instead of worrying so much about what Fleur was doing, she should have given that attention to her own garden. Omarosa decides then and there that she has to make everything right again. At home, she goes straight for her garden and starts working. Just being there and working, she begins to remember why she loves gardening in the first place. All of the things she seemed to have forgotten in her desire to win. When she finally reaches her once prize-winning sunflower, it gives her the perfect idea. Omarosa decides the right thing to do is to offer it to Fleur and apologize for all the horrible things she has done to her. As she puts her sunflower and starts for Fleur's house, something amazing happens. All of the gray in the garden disappears, and the flower begins to bloom again.
Hello, I'm Kara O'Brien for Allied Video Services. Today with HD TV, the newest cameras, CDs, and DVDs, we see everything going digital, and with good reason. Digital technology allows you to compress and store information. It also allows for a greater level of quality. Of course, today, DVD is big, and it wasn't long ago that VHS was king. But did you know that before that, the home movie was shot on real film? 8mm, Super 8mm, and 16mm film were all the rage from the 1940s through the 70s. Today, a lot of film like this sits in attics, closets, and boxes. Besides not being seen and appreciated, this film can actually be deteriorating. Over the years, the color can fade and the film becomes brittle. While it's true that they don't make projectors for it anymore, Allied Video can transfer those old home movies onto VHS or DVD for you to enjoy, share, and preserve. This is not an automated process. It involves a skilled technician and the latest in digital technology and professional equipment to capture every frame. They then add light instrumental background music at no extra charge and transfer it digitally to VHS or DVD. The result is a professionally mastered video for you to enjoy and share for years to come. Imagine watching and sharing your old home movies with those that you love. Estimates are free, so where are your home movies? We all love photos, these captured moments in time. Whether they are photos, slides, or digital files, we all enjoy reviewing and remembering the special moments in our lives. Some photos make it to a frame on the wall for you to enjoy, but most end up filling an album, a box, or a drawer. Transferring photos or slides to VHS or DVD, complete with moving backgrounds and background music, not only makes reviewing and sharing these photos fun, but also makes a great personal gift too. You can hardly think of a gift that would be more personal or memorable than a custom video made from a select group of photos, especially chosen to fit the recipient. Allied Video can help you craft the perfect presentation to fit your budget and your needs. So whether it's a photo montage or a complete family history, Allied Video Services is your one-stop partner on memory lane. Putting together a photo project is fun and easy. In fact, it's one of our most popular repeat services. So get out that box of pictures and call us today. See for yourself how a video album can bring life to your photos and fill your needs. Wow, do you have a stack of videos like this at home? Birthday parties, vacations, Christmas, soccer games, and school plays? When are you going to find time to watch all of this? Unfortunately, the truth is, as much as you would like to, you probably aren't. The popularity of video has spawned a new problem called video overload. Too many tapes, too many formats, and too little time. So what's the answer? The answer is something called a lifetime video. Let's look at how a lifetime video can help you enjoy your memories instead of storing them. The lifetime video process starts with the fact that, if you're like most, you overshot the event. Take these soccer tapes, for instance. There are only a few places in each tape that I would really like to save and see again and again. The first step is to see what you have. This can be a wonderful family project and gives you the opportunity to review some great times that you've probably not seen in years. So I have my tapes. Let's get started. To start with, I have decided on my topic, which is soccer. I number each tape that has soccer footage on it and rewind it. Next, I put the rewound tape in the VCR and scan until I find a scene that I want. Then I write down the approximate start and stop times by referencing the hours, minutes, and seconds on the VCR counter. I continue through each tape, noting the start and stop times of each clip that I want to keep. This will allow me to quickly find all of the clips that I want when I start to assemble the project. Once I have each tape logged, I call Allied Video and make an appointment. When I come in, I meet with one of their editors. I can sit right there in the editing suite as the clips that I have selected are captured digitally into the computer. Now let me reassure you, this does not harm my original tapes. I get to keep those when we are finished. Once the footage is in the editing computer, I can then trim and arrange the clips any way I want. I can add titles, music, backgrounds, transitions, and effects like slow motion. Hey, I'm the director! The result is a first-class compilation of the best of the soccer footage. It runs about an hour, and best of all, I can find the time to watch it. Your home videos can be condensed by subject, year, person, or whatever you choose. So put on your director's cap and stop storing your memories. See them again by creating a lifetime video. Allied Video can help you relive those precious moments. And isn't that the reason you took them in the first place? Our last service is one that helps you share, see, and save your memories. It's duplication. Allied Video can duplicate to and from a variety of formats, including VHS, 8mm, VHS-C, High 8, Digital 8, Mini DV, DVD, CDs, Super VHS, and even old beta tapes. Duplication is fast and convenient. So whether you have a special video that you need to preserve on DVD or a tape of the kids that you want to share with Grandma, we can help with quality duplication services that are fast and easy. Well, that does it. You can get more information on these and other services by calling our office or visiting our website. Let Allied Video Services help your memories live again. Thanks for watching.